Zerg, 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 except Zerg, 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 Zerg. Down to 5 o'clock position in blue is SoO. SoO in blue. That means up at the 10 o'clock position in orange is ZerO. Okay, now back to it. Zerg, 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 Zerg. Zerg predictions from the Zergs. There's one from Ivar197, writes, Zerg, 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 I'm kidding. ZerO and Sulky to win and move into a crushing, brutling snipe marathon final. Rockin'. Alright, there's another one from Mizeman, writes, ZerO will be the ZerO we all know and love and choke his way straight out of the round of 16. That was mean. You're mean. Alright. Let's see where the build orders branch off. They're both pumping the Overlords, I believe. There's some girls chatting in the back about some StarCraft stuff. Yes, that's what that's what girls talk about. I almost said Zerg. I shouldn't have done that opening. That's going to screw me up for the entire commentary, I think. But that's what girls talk about, guys. StarCraft. What, you didn't know? I figured that out a long time ago. But I see that SoO's moving out to throw down a 12 hatch. I think, yes, ZerO's doing the same. I see his drone on the minimap. Moving out, they're both 12 hatching. On Neo Electric Circuit. 4-player map. Let's get another couple of predictions, since things aren't going to happen for a while, I think. Another one from Pickerman776 writes, ZerO! Full exclamation points. 4 exclamation points. He will show his mettle this season and claw his way to the top. The rightful place for a parasite-infected acolyte of the Swarm. For the Swarm. Oh, and the Stork dude will take the other spot. Thanks, man. I like that guy. Here's another one from Raider Odin, I think, writes, ZerO will take the finals for the last and final OSL. If anyone deserves a second shot at the finals, he does. I might agree with that. We see the extractor is up for ZerO, has the 3 drones on it. So does SoO, very mirrored so far. And oh yeah, the Who Screwed is Not So Screwed score sheet, which I didn't manage to get to in the last game, but it wasn't that big of a deal, I think. Okay, whoop, I was on the wrong side of the sheet. Group D. If ZerO wins, no one is screwed. That's all I wrote down. I must have been rushing there. But if SoO wins, SoO is guaranteed to move out into the round of 8. And Harangue 2 is knocked out. And the winner of Stork vs. ZerO moves out into the round of 8 with SoO. So SoO's definitely going to try his hardest in this one, because if he wins, he's automatically seeded into the round of 8. Because his last game versus Harangue 2 just won't matter. Harangue 2 has 0-2, so he wouldn't even be able to pull him down to his level. But anyway, now that they have the second bases up for both, now things going to start to heat up a bit, I think. ZerO's on the defensive right now. Has some Zerglings positioned right at his natural. And Zerglings running into each other in the middle of the map. SoO's Zergling stands there for a second. He's like, should I hit him? Nah, I won't hit him. Pacifist Zergling. Okay. It looks like ZerO has not gotten LASIK. Come on, man. It's the new coolest thing. Everyone, it seems, has gotten LASIK. Even Fantasy, and that's weird. Fantasy without glasses. Now we got SoO without glasses. Very strange. Alright. ZerO, SoO playing defensively as well. He sent up that one Zergling to scout earlier, but I didn't send out the rest to do a big attack or anything. They're both focusing on getting up their economies, getting the mining drones at the natural expansion, And there's a scouting Zergling from ZerO trying to sneak by. Let's see if it can sneak by. Getting close to. Oh, it manages to sneak by. And it's going to get a full scout inside that main. Nicely done, Zergling. So it sees that the spires coming up, I believe. Yes, spires for both. Very mirrored. But at least he is getting the scouting information of that. There's a SoO Zergling sneaking in, trying to kill a drone. But just one single Zergling rarely gets a drone kill. Unless the Zerg player is distracted, the other Zerg player is distracted and doesn't keep up with their drone micro. But we'll have to see. SoO staying in as long as he can. Trying to get ZerO to commit some more Zerglings to taking out this thing too. Oh yeah, it's a lot of Zerglings committed to this thing. But still, SoO survives a bit longer to see the other drone pop, I believe. But the spires should be out soon for both, which means a lot of mutant engagements and some Zergling engagements. This will be pretty epic, actually, since they both haven't lost a lot. I think just one Zergling each. So, yeah, this will be fun. ZerO's hovering out in the middle of the map, I think just looking for, trying to get lucky and land on SoO's Zerglings. Trying to find those and get them as they're rushing up to ZerO's base. There's an extractor at the natural expansion for SoO, I think it was, but some Zerglings out in the middle now. Yeah, they're both trying to get lucky, I think. Run into each other there, but here come the mutas. We're going to have a big muta engagement from both, and there is ZerO is going to get rid of the Overlord first. And that is going to give SoO a bit of information of where the mutas are. That'll help him out a lot, even though he lost the Overlord. He's going to be supply capped for a second. He's at 34 of a 34 population. Might lose another Overlord. Another Overlord getting caught in the fray. SoO doing his best to keep away ZerO. Get him to stop doing this, but no, he takes out another Overlord. So SoO is going to be supply capped for a while, I think. And looking down there, 42 over 26 population. Gotta get out a couple of Overlords now. So that's going to put him a bit behind, get the focus on Overlords instead of mutas or Zerglings, which could bode poorly for him in the next engagement. But so far they've both been extremely defensive. ZerO has gone out to snipe Overlords, but then fallen right back to his own base. Let's see if he has any mutas in the area. Yeah, he has mutas now in the middle. We're going to find this Scourge, one lone Scourge just out there for no reason. There's the second Scourge of the set. Flying around. It won't get much done, I think. ZerO has his own Scourge. Going to try to land those in a trap. Here comes SoO, moving up with tons and tons and tons of Zerglings to this natural expansion. ZerO is pulling back with his mutas, but let's hope that it's in time. Some drones being pulled off the line for ZerO as well, just trying to hold until his mutas can get there, but he loses all of his Zerglings. SoO has tons and tons of Zerglings flooding inside that main, going to try to kill as many drones as he can before ZerO deals with it. Yeah, ZerO has the mutas in. Yeah, the Zerglings actually sniped the natural expansion for ZerO. So ZerO just lost his natural. Oh, that's not good. SoO takes a major advantage with that. And, yeah, he has some Scourge of his own, so he should be able to hang with ZerO in the air battles. Even though it seems to me that ZerO just has more mutas. I'm looking at both, and it seems that he does have a larger muta army. But still, he lost his natural expansion. That's going to put him way behind in production if he can't do a big attack right now to kill SoO. But here comes ZerO's coming down to the natural expansion. He did supply cap SoO, and that's probably why he has more mutas. Plus, he has the Scourge and trying to get the land some Scourge, big Scourge trap on SoO. But SoO running away, doing his best to get away from the Scourge. So far, he's done some pretty good micro against ZerO. He's fighting ZerO back, and his own Scourge pop out. But still looks pretty close, actually, for both Scourge coming in. For SoO, this could be critical, but I think that ZerO microed against them, took down most of the Scourge, and there's ZerO coming in with his own Scourge. It's an incredibly intense battle, because if ZerO doesn't take this, he's going to lose the game. He can't afford to fight back SoO, but SoO, I think, just has one muta left. So ZerO is given free reign of this main to snipe as many drones as he wants while SoO builds back up his muta army. But of course, SoO has the 2 hatcheries. He'll be able to pump more faster, but still ZerO doing his best from the 1 hatchery he has, coming in with some Zergling as well, just trying to distract. So he takes out SoO with a couple of Scourge, I think. The mutant that just popped was taken down. There's ZerO microing against SoO's Scourge. This is crazy, actually, because usually you see mutant engagements go down way before this, decided way earlier, but so far, yeah, SoO is down to, I think, 2 or 3 mutas, and ZerO is trying to get away from the Scourge, because SoO does have Scourge on ZerO, and ZerO feels that he just doesn't have enough mutas to micro against that. The more he would micro, the closer he would get to the Scourge, meaning the rest of his mutas might have been taken down. So he's out in the middle of the map microing against Scourge at the moment, and he built a sunken colony inside of his main just to keep out any Zergling harassment from SoO. So that was actually a very smart decision. They're both making pretty smart decisions in this game. And there's the evolution chamber for ZerO. Rebuilding his own second base, playing a little bit more defensively now after doing all that damage. Yeah, he did an awful lot of damage to SoO, but he's still just on the 1 hatch. 1 hatchery, and he's going to try to get up some spore colonies at each of his bases now, I think. ZerO taking down the extractor. 1 Zergling takes out an extractor at SoO's natural expansion. But SoO wasn't even mining there anyway. He's trying to build up his drones inside of his main now. And I think that ZerO's natural expansion just about to come up. Yeah, it's getting close to coming up. And that'll put him on an equal playing field with SoO, because he'll have the 2 hatcheries. But I just think that ZerO has more drones. I don't think he lost as many drones as SoO lost when the mutas were coming inside of SoO's main. But okay, there's ZerO moving out. Well, starting to move out a bit with another grouping of mutas. I'm looking down at the intake for both. They're both at very low populations now moving into this. They both did a lot of damage to each other, but I think that ZerO just has more intake. He seems to have more intake from what I could see down at the counter. Yeah, he has not as much gas stored up, but he's still getting gas, and he doesn't have as many minerals stored up as SoO does. But SoO's saving up those minerals for mutas, I think. Okay, ZerO working his way down. Again, he might go in for another attack soon. He has some Zerglings alongside, just to clean up any counter-attack Zerglings that might move out for SoO. And SoO's sending a couple up to get some drone snipes. But here comes ZerO back inside the main, being chased away by Scourge. He gets spooked by the Scourge. He's going to try his best to micro against the Scourge first, and then try to go for the main muta army. Alright, SoO being intercepted by ZerO's Zerglings, and now ZerO's going to take out another Overlord. Another Overlord goes down, but that's not going to supply cap SoO, just because he's fallen so far behind in supply. Lost a lot of drones, and he doesn't have many mutas and Scourge in the air. Well, he has a few Scourge coming in now to get a Scourge trap on ZerO. ZerO smartly gets out of there before that happens, because if all those Scourge land, SoO could take this game just by completely destroying all of ZerO's mutas. So this is actually a very crazy ZVZ. I said in the last one that I hoped this one would be as good, and it looks like it's starting to be that, but no, the Scourge coming in, landing on ZerO. Not sure how many landed, but it seems that ZerO still has the higher muta count, from what I can tell anyway, unless SoO has all of his mutas very tightly clumped. It seemed that ZerO did have more mutas, so he senses the blood in the water. He's coming into this natural, fighting back SoO. SoO's reinforcement mutas pop, but it seems he still doesn't have enough. He's down to 1 muta, so ZerO takes the game. Ridiculous. GG from SoO. Hilarious game. And some great ZVZs today. It totally took me off guard. But this has been Nuke. See you guys next week for the last games of the round of 16. Then after that, we'll have a month of round of 8, which I'm actually looking forward to a lot. Okay, this has been Nuke. See you guys later.